What's going on, everyone? What's up, 49ers fam? This is Aaron Wilson for Inside the 49, getting a preview on the Cowboys matchup coming up on Sunday. I'm joined as always by Chris. How are we doing, Chris?
Doing pretty good. You're
You ready to go?
one game closer to that Lombardi.
One game closer, and this is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
So, as we talked about in our last episode, breaking down our previous dub in the wild card round, we really want to focus on the Cowboys. I spent some extensive time looking at film from the Cowboys to see how we can attack them and then how they want to attack. So that's what we're going to go about doing today. The first part is how are they going to try to attack offensively, and we're looking primarily at the Eagles game that they played in week 16.
Yeah, because there aren't really a lot of comparable teams, especially in the NFC. It's in my opinion, Eagles and us, and then the Cowboys, in that next slot down, or maybe two slots down, and then after that, just all the rest of the teams. So I think I would Seattle in there because they actually scored more points than they allowed. But yeah, we basically get to play all of the best teams in the NFC.
Hey, but it's a proof that we're the best in the league, yeah. Right? It's going to be proven.
They're not that all these teams are not that good compared to other years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, even including us, it's although I don't know. I mean, stat wise, we're not, but maybe we are. So we'll see.
we're about to find out. All right. Yeah. So we're going to break down a couple specific strategies that the Cowboys are going to do offensively. As you see on the screen here, the biggest thing that they're going to try to do offensively when it comes to the pass is they're going to try to spread us out. So offensively, they're going to spread us out, which I believe is the biggest issue with the 49ers dealing with good offenses is that offenses spread us out. So this is going to be a true test. So they do like to go 5 wide, a decent amount. They do like to go empty as well, which is going to definitely stress the defense.
Did they have Pollard in there as their fifth receiver?
Let's see. Looks like it's either Pollard. I believe that's Pollard there on the top.
Yeah. So they can run this from like a 4 wide receiver, and I think I see a white guy out there. So it looks like they have a tight end too. Yeah. So they can run this out of a regular formation, sort of like the way that we do it.
Yeah, and they do this a lot throughout, but definitely third down. This is going to be the case that they're probably going to be going, if it's third and more than a couple, they're probably going to be going 5 wide and attack us that way. So it'd be interesting to see what Ryans comes up with in terms of how to counterattack that.
Yeah, well, sorry, he's busy getting interviewed by everybody.
No, so he's ignoring all that stuff, right? Just so he can win this game.
Hopefully he knows we're playing. But yeah, that's particularly going to be an issue if we're doing stuff like they appear to be doing on this play. If Pollard is the guy on top, so just running their running back out as far as possible and taking 7 out of the play, and then we would probably defend this with single high and then an extra linebacker. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be some hot wide receiver on linebacker action, which we don't like either. So
yeah, all right, let's run that. Let's see what they're trying to do for these first couple plays. All right, spread. I mean, they're spreading the defense out. That's the play here. Eagles are pretty good coverage. By the way. Yeah, that is a nice pocket. Ends up collapsing on him. He ends up breaking out.
Some guy broke 3.
Yeah. So, and that's funny because up there on top.
There's a guy who just wasn't blocking anybody, and he left, and then you see here, and then he could, if he just stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he felt something.
Maybe he saw the guy just too late.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I did see is he does get a little antsy in the pocket. So I feel like bringing that pressure inside from the Niners is going to be beneficial to really squeeze that pocket in to really get him to get out of there and get out of his first read. I think that's going to be important for him. Here's another play. Again, you're looking at the same thing. You're looking at 5 wide across the board, trying to spread them out, try to spread the Eagles out, and they're just trying to find the hole in the zone. Their tight end has been playing really well last couple weeks. I know he had a big game against the Bucs with I think 80-90 yards, something like that. But it's just spreading the defense out, find the hole in the zone, and hit it.
So this game was the first game or the second game?
This is the second game that they played. This is week 16.
Okay, so this is the week with Dak.
Correct. Yep. This is the week with Dak.
Because I believe that the next best, the next great, the next best thing, the next great thing. Cooper Rush is their number 2, right? I believe he played in their first matchup, and they lost, and then they played them again with Dak, and then they won.
Amazing how that works sometimes. So this is some nice inside pressure from the Eagles, bringing a blitz from inside cornerback, slot cornerback, and getting to Dak. Obviously, he should have made the tackle on this one and finish him, but Dak's able to get out of it and somehow make that pass. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
He ran into a brick wall, and Dak's like not that big for
big, but not that big. Again, it's a cornerback, but come on, like
for a
free shot, right?
For a big. Yeah, for a quote unquote big quarterback, like he's small, he like barely fits the mold.
I don't know what that really means, but okay.
But it probably doesn't mean anything.
All right, so the second thing that they're going to do besides spread out is they're really going to try to isolate CeeDee Lamb on a linebacker or in some type of one-on-one coverage with the slot corner. So that's going to be also a big thing for Jimmy Ward to step up. But then I also think there's a couple of different things that they can do defensively for the 49ers that the Eagles did as well that we're going to show you here in a minute to try to take CeeDee away. So CeeDee is up here on the top in the slot position here up on the top, and let's watch him coming across the middle. Actually, nope, that wasn't that play. Oh, back to play. Sorry about that.
Well, there we go. That's our cushion.
Here's what we're looking for, right? So you got CeeDee Lamb in the slot.
So we're not looking for this on Sunday at all.
No, let's not do this.
Don't do this. Let's
not do this.
I feel like it's so easy to tell other teams how to beat us, But
let's not say anything now.
Yeah, but we'll just be quiet.
Yeah, we'll just be quiet about it. All right. So you got CeeDee up here on the top. What's the problem here? Who's right here?
I can give you a couple of problems with the way they lined up on this play.
Right, so this linebacker, I assume it's the linebacker. Maybe I assume it's the linebacker, right? He's probably should be a little bit more that way, right? Is what you would do.
I mean, he's faking some type of blitz, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, so obviously he ends up hopping back into it.
So he probably runs right behind the opposite direction, right?
Right.
Yep, there you go.
And he just sits down.
Okay. See, he sat in the middle. That's a nice play.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go the other direction because that was wide open. But he just sits down in the middle.
He's skip up.
Right. Yeah. And catches the ball. All right. I mean, this is easy, right? Bad defensive alignment. You got to put at least a slot corner on CeeDee in the middle, and they're just letting him sit and do nothing. I mean, there's nothing good going on there on the defensive side.
I think he was dancing actually. That's what.
All right. So.
Oh no.
All right. So another thing that the 49ers definitely need to look at is trips. This idea of covering trips and how to effectively cover trips. We do have a tight end here in line. Right next to the slot receiver, right next to CeeDee. But we're hoping, they're hoping from a defensive standpoint that you're going to have 1, 2, 3 cover 1, 2, 3, right? With a little bit of help from the linebacker. Maybe the linebacker is helping out somewhat on the tight end or taking him, and he's just playing number 3. The safety is just playing over top of 1 and 2. They don't really know what they're doing on this play. I ain't gonna lie. So let's run it for you and just see. You can see what happens yourselves. All right. So he gets lost in the mix. Safety decides that I don't want to be the over top defender, and CeeDee's wide open. Again, this is not what we want to happen defensively.
What was the single high safety looking at?
I don't know what he's looking at.
Like, what is he worried about right now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that.
Sorry, I guess well, yeah, they're not really running. I mean, we'll just call it single high for this purpose because they're running a single high on the left side of the field.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I don't know what he's looking at. Obviously, he should be taking the first deep offensive player. Would be my assumption is what they're covering. But he decides to not take their biggest.
Yeah, but I mean, but he can see that the guy that there's nobody. Like, both of the defenders are facing the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
and so like right now, he should be very concerned about what's about to happen.
Yeah,
because it looks like CeeDee is like invisible to the the linebacker in the corner.
I mean, that's taken care of on the bottom, right? So he doesn't have to worry about anything on this side, and there's nobody. You have your 4 receivers, 1, 2, 3, 4. One's on the right, 3 on the left. Like, he needs to be putting his eyes on one of these guys over here, and he's not doing. He's not doing it.
The running backs in the backfield blocking.
Yeah. So he ends up being wide open. But again, this trips look from them is something that we saw a decent amount in the Eagles game.
He's nice tackle too, by the way.
Yeah. And,
high effort. I like it.
And it's got to be something that the 49ers are definitely looking at.
Hopefully that's the game that they bring after we beat the Cowboys and play them next week.
There you go. There you go. I like that idea. All right. So this is what we were originally trying to talk about. All right. So you got CeeDee on top here. You got a slot corner against him, right? So they're asking the slot corner to play a 1-on-1 against CeeDee Lamb, and he's going to win. I would say the majority of the time on a slot corner, he's good. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play football, right? So what does he do? Wins with not even that much of a move at all, right? He gives him a little bit of a wiggle there at the top, and gets down and gets open and wins.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see like who we're gonna put out there.
Yeah, that's the question. So CeeDee, he jumps around, so he goes inside. In the slot, he goes out. He goes outside. What are we gonna do with Charvarius?
We don't like that at all because we're not allowed to move on defense. We just need to stay where.
Yeah.
We start.
Is Ward gonna be on him? Is Ward gonna follow him, or is what do you think their play is defensively?
I mean, if it were me, I would follow him 100% because
100%, right?
They're one wide receiver team. Yep. I mean, they have one standout wide receiver. Their running back 2, or so their wide receiver 2 is basically their 2 running backs. Yeah. And then they have a tight end who catches a lot of passes, and then they have a bunch of like wild card receivers that you don't want. Sort of like we always have that are fast, and you don't want them going deep on you. Types of receivers, but not guys you have to game plan for, but guys who just end up being like uncovered, in the back of the end zone kind of guys. So, there's no question I would follow CeeDee. I'm not sure how much he was facing that during the regular season, so I'll have to look into that because I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah,
because that's all that's. I mean, in the passing game, that's what they have.
Yeah.
From a wide receiver.
From a wide receiver, but is that and dumping off? And we're going to show some dumping off down to Pollard here in a little bit. All right, so in this play, similar situation. They're putting CeeDee in the slot, and they have what I assume is a slot corner playing 1-on-1 against him.
Tight, too.
Yeah, tight, too.
Tight-ish.
And CeeDee is going to make one move to the outside. He's going to win. And he's going to win inside. And that's obviously 33, whoever he is not going to be able to work in the short area quickness as CeeDee's going to be able to.
Yeah, and he's like in the worst spot ever because he's giving CeeDee enough steps to run his route.
Yeah.
So like just like step up a step or step back a step. He's like caught in the middle.
Yep. So, yeah, he's kind of. I mean, his feet. Yeah, I'm with you. He's kind of in the middle. And he's letting him go to the inside for some reason. I mean, he gets a little bit of a wiggle to the outside, but the defender's not really moving on it at all. He's just in that space.
The way he's running, I sure hope that the defender knows that he's trying to go inside.
Yeah,
because that wasn't the best.
I mean, those two routes that we just saw, there's nothing amazing. He makes one step and he cuts. It's not like he's doing some crazy move to get in open space, stuff we've seen from Ayuk in the past. We're not seeing that stuff. All right. Okay. So So the next question is, how do we attack that? What's a good way to attack CeeDee?
That's how we know you're a DC, right? You don't say, how do we defend that? How do we attack it?
That's right. How do we attack it?
Love it.
So we'll show you what Philly does, and I think that we should do something similar. So CeeDee is here on the bottom. Sorry, in the slot again in this situation, and they're going to get a little bit of inside out bracket coverage from CeeDee. They don't really do a ton of movement here. There's another, I think the next clip here is a better one in terms of kind of more of a bracket type coverage. But you see right here, they have 2 on 1, right? They're going 1, 2. Where are their eyes? They're on CeeDee. If CeeDee goes deep, right, 2's gonna take him and be over top and helping out. If he goes inside, if he goes short, they're counting on the slot corner to take care of him. So one thing you can do is pull the bracket coverage, which is what they did here, right? And yes, he did get a little move on him, but he had to dump it off to somebody else. But they're in enough
pass rush, right?
Yeah.
If it was for the pass rush, he could have hit him, even though it was short of the sticks.
Yeah. And that's obviously something that the Niners are going to be bringing big time. It looks like Dak's not looking his way initially, or probably would have hit him on that.
Dak's just scared out of his mind.
All right. So the next play is what I really like, and we're going to call this, and what most people call this, is some sort of robber coverage. So what we're going to try to do defensively, what the Eagles are trying to do defensively, is they're going to try to rob the middle of the field. So they're going to start out in too high, all right, but this guy's going to go back, and this guy's going to come up, and he's going to try to rob the route, okay? So his eyes are going to be on, the first guy, or maybe CeeDee, depending on what the defensive scheme is, on them coming across the field. And the fact that you're playing one guy on him, and then the other guy to kind of rob the route in case that guy gets beat, which I like here from them. I think this is a good move, and it's something that the DeMeco's hopefully thinking about doing. All right, so right,
like long third downs.
Yeah, so right now you're getting, I think they're passing off the wide receivers. Looks like maybe they're taking the first guy in breaking route. Maybe he's going to the initial slot corner. So CeeDee kind of gets held up a little bit, right? But he still is Dak primarily.
Man. Was that the outside corner? No, that was the slot who got beat like that.
Yeah, but I think the slot, the other slot kind of lets him go. So
I mean, they're definitely in zone.
Yeah, they're in some,
because like the slot receiver, the slot. I guess it's the X receiver who's on the line, but he's also small and slottish.
Yeah,
is covered by the outside cornerbacks, unless they have some weird thing where like it depends on where you are on the line as to who covers you, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Then they're in some type of zone.
So as CeeDee's coming up in this top into the top, he's really getting double covered, right? So he's being covered one time by the corner here, right? And then he's also having 32 come down to play some sort of robber there on him as well. So Dak is looking originally left, and then he comes back to the right, and it looks like he's looking at CeeDee coming across the middle here. But there's nothing there because they brought that safety down, right? So that safety went from messed up. That safety went from being high now to down to be that rat player who's going to take away. Right now is a good example, right? He's going to take away, right? You got there, right? The ball's not going to be thrown there. Dak can't make that throw there if he wants to because it's too much coverage.
Please throw there, but yeah, but
he ends up dumping it off, right? Which I like I think this is a smart move from the Eagles to do, and something that the Niners should consider defensively.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna play robbers, I'm gonna come down into the box a little bit later than that, or come down in and try to rob later than that, because the optimal situation is when the quarterback has two sides of the field to read. Yeah. I mean, he always has two sides of the field to read, but he has two different concepts on the opposite side, and he looks one way and doesn't see anything good, and then he looks the other way, and the guy that you're trying to rob is open.
Yeah,
that's like the best situation because then it's like pick six.
Yeah.
So
you'll see here again.
A little too early.
Yeah, we missed the very beginning of the play, but this safety originally was back, and now he's moving up to do the same thing. And his eyes, you can see, are directly on Lamb. All he's caring about is what Lamb's doing right now, and he's coming from the opposite side of the field, right? So he's going to come down here, and he's going to try to rob this, and they're also getting that man-on-man coverage here as well. So in essence, you're playing double team 2-on-1 on CeeDee, which is what we should be doing from the 49ers perspective.
Yeah.
Right. CeeDee comes across.
Adams.
All right. This is perfect, right? So CeeDee wins on the inside, right? You get a nice little jam from the corner here on top. CeeDee does win to the inside, but as soon as he went to the inside, who's there? It's that corner. It's that safety coming down to play on him, which is exactly what we should be looking for. So again, you're taking a safety that's starting high and you're bringing him down to play double coverage, in essence, on Lamb, right there, right? And that's exactly where Dak looks, and he's not there, and he's not open, and he ends up throwing the ball away. And I think that Pollard almost makes a ridiculous catch. But we'll see if on the other side, like Dak is going to be.
Do they have another? I was like, do they have another running back in there? Because somebody was open over the middle short. If you just look there.
Yeah. So Dak, you will see originally looks to his left. That's where he's looking. He's looking at Lamb, right? And he feels the safety coming down, and he's going to take that away. So he's taking that play away. All right. Then he's going to have to go to his second or third read, and then he just puts one up for.
Yeah, and then he runs out of bounds. Yeah. Or he runs he's a receiver out of bounds. But that was a great example of when Dak should have just sat in the pocket and thrown it to the short guy who was coming open. But he likes to run around a little bit, which is good and bad. I looked him up. He's like 6'2", 230 or something like that. So he's not that big.
Not that big. All right. So 2 things so far we've seen offensively. 1, they want to spread the Niners out. They're going to want to spread the Niners out. 2, they're going to isolate Lamb on the slot corner. So I feel like taking that away from a standpoint of some type of 2-man coverage on CeeDee is the right move. Let's take him out of the game, right? Defensively, you want to think about who can I take out of the game, who's not going to hurt me, and CeeDee's going to be your number 1 or 1B if Pollard is your 1A as his backup running back.
If you're all pro backup running back.
Backup running back is your
and I just need to take a second to note that this is probably the only analysis video podcast, whatever you want to call it, that's gone through this many plays about what the Niners need to do on defense against the Cowboys and have not shown a running play.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
That's how thorough we are.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing that you're going to see from them is the fact that they want to dump the ball off, specifically to Pollard coming out of the backfield, or already out like we showed you earlier on, where he's already out in 5 wide. But eyes need to be put on Pollard throughout this game, and obviously we have the linebackers to do it. So here's the first play, just a couple plays from that perspective. And be a better tackler in open space.
Yeah. He's sort of like a really, really poor man's McCaffrey.
There you go. I like that. Let's quote
Even though
that.
Somebody had said they would take him over McCaffrey.
Oh my God, I don't even want to mention his name because he's gotten enough press about that as it is.
I don't think that we're really going to affect that. So you can tell me.
Skip Bayless.
Oh, yeah, he's not a Cowboys homer or anything.
No, not at all. All right, so we need to make sure Niners need to make sure that they have eyes on.
Great. Now their shows are going to get, or whatever shows he has. I have no idea. Now he's going to get like all of the watchers.
Exactly.
All the audience. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
All right, we try to help other people out. All right, here we go. Second play. I want to pay attention to Pollard in the backfield right next to Dak.
Whoa.
All right, we are familiar with this route. We see this route from Niners in the past.
He didn't really. I mean, if he actually ran like a real Texas route,
that's probably going to be a touchdown.
and maybe 6.
Yeah, the craziest thing here is I still don't understand what this safety is doing on the top. Like, I have no idea. I don't even know if he
Which
knows
one?
what he's doing. He decides to go this way, as if he's thinking he's getting the flat route, I guess, from him. But like the break off of Pollard originally is not that way. I mean, check out Pollard as he comes out.
Yeah,
I mean, he takes one step to the right.
Oh, I mean, yeah, maybe he thought that with the blitz that I think maybe that's not like Pollard's guy is the corner, and he just doesn't go room.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, he could be right because maybe he's expecting the corner to switch off because I mean they know that a blitz is coming, obviously, because they called it in the huddle.
Yeah,
so it would make more sense for. Well, I mean, obviously it depends what the offense runs, but I could see a situation where you would have, you would switch up the defensive coverage there, and otherwise, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't know what he's doing.
Man, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, who are we to say? Yeah. But it didn't seem like he knows what he's doing.
He does a fantastic job of like taking himself out of the play.
Yep, he's very good at that. All right, here we go. Next play. This is Zeke in the backfield instead of
who's that?
All right. So the crazy thing here, I think, is this is where the play is designed to go, right? Because if you look at Dak's eyes, or it must be his first. He must be reading something to do with the safety and the corner over top. And
it's five-man rush. So he's hitting us out right off the bat. He doesn't want to mess around.
He's not messing around with that rush at all, right? But they end up getting the first down, so it ends up working on a third down. So again, you'll see Dak. He looks originally to his left. He looks at the safety of the corner for some type of placement from them for maybe a quick second, and then he's like, "I'm going to Zeke." Right off the bat. So, I mean, this is the game that they're going to want to run. They're going to want to run and dump the ball out to Zeke and primarily Pollard as well.
Definitely Pollard. Yeah, because Zeke is he's definitely more of a guy who's moving the ball on the ground, whereas Pollard's doing both. Yeah. But I think that Zeke had at least like 15 catches, something like that this year. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're not using him at all. But Pollard's like 40 or 50, something like that.
Yeah. All right. So that's kind of the play defensively for us. What I believe they should do, they should try to take CeeDee out of the game by doing some type of double team or robber coverage against him. Specifically, definitely on third downs. If not, just take Ward and put on him, and also have help over the top. But you got to take him out of the game, and then you also have to make sure that you keep eyes on the running backs coming out of the backfield. Those are kind of the two big things to really focus on. What I believe they should be focusing on defensively. I'm not concerned about the run game from what I saw. And yes, they try to run the ball, but it's really the passing game. It's going to be what the 49ers really need to be keying on Sunday to really win this game. Hot take.
Because everyone else out there is saying key on the running game. Even their coach is saying key on the running game.
I just don't agree with that.
They run the ball a lot, over the course of the regular season. They ran the ball a lot. So they really want to run the ball. How persistent they are, and how effective they are, I don't know if those two things are related or not. I know with us, it's usually not. But yeah, it's I definitely do not disagree with you about CeeDee Lamb being a big problem if he's all over the field like that. The combination of him and then Pollard as a number 2 receiver. That's troublesome.
I'm 100% with you. So I think that is all the time that we have for today. We're going to go on the other side of the ball as well later on, but we wanted to get this idea of how to attack them from a defensive side is the most important. What I believe is the most important, but there are definitely a couple what I believe are holes on the Cowboys defense that the Niners can definitely exploit. And we're going to give you some examples again from both the Eagles game, and then I think I have one or two from the Redskins game the next time we talk about how Shanahan can scheme up how to attack this Dallas Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Chris?
No, you were like really into the receiving stuff.
Yeah, so I'm big on it.
Yeah, which is good. I hope that DeMeco puts in as much time in the film room as you did. That's all that I asked for.
Oh, there's not many things in this world I like more than watching football film. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So if you did enjoy the video, we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and you give us a like and threw some comments down below with any specific plays, any specific strategies you feel like will be beneficial for the 49ers to be using both offensively or defensively. Throw them down in the comment section and hit that subscribe button. We're gaining more and more every day, but we really appreciate it if you take the time to do that, if you appreciate the content.
We also don't mind if you go into the comments and be like, passing the ball, you guys are a bunch of idiots.
That's fine too.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Well, I will readily debate whether I'm an idiot or not with anybody.
For sure.
Which I do like every day on Twitter.
All right. So if you subscribe, the great thing is you are going to get notified if you turn on notifications about the next video that we do in order to how to attack the Dallas Cowboys defensively. So until that next video, which will be coming out the next day or so.
Well, it better because
we only have till Sunday.
2 days to game time.
All right. Until next time, as always, go Niners.
Go Niners.